Assalamu alaikum. May I come in?
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Introduce yourself to all of us, please.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Saood bin Munam, and I was born and raised in Islamabad, Pakistan. I got my primary, secondary, and middle education from my hometown, and afterwards, for my higher education, I went to Islamabad, where I graduated in mechanical engineering from NUST. And while studying at NUST, I was exposed to debates and literature, which shifted my proclivities. And I started to ponder over my career choices, and I made my mind that I would go into public service. That's why after I graduated from NUST, I enrolled myself in Master of Public Administration at Virtual University, which allowed a distant learning mode. While studying Master of Public Administration, I was also working at GSK, where I worked for 2.5 years in engineering department, and won business challenge and had multiple achievements over there. And after 2.5 years, I resigned from there and appeared in CSS 2022, and here I am. Apart from my academic career, I like reading, playing football, and playing video games. Thank you.
You have written that you have got experience in GSK, consumer healthcare.
Yes.
Tell us, what is this consumer healthcare GSK?
GSK is a multinational company, GlaxoSmithKline. It's a UK-based company, and its consumer healthcare is its subsidiary department where over-the-counter products are sold. Over-the-counter products include those products which do not require a prescription from a doctor, for example, vitamins and other supplements. So I worked at GSK Consumer Healthcare, which basically manufactures CAC and other products. I think that's about GSK Consumer Health.
Have you ever looked into the health sector? Basically, you are associated with consumer healthcare.
Yes.
Per capita expenditure हम क्या करते हैं अपने?
I believe the per capita expenditure is around $138 in purchasing power parity terms. I read it in a report in 2021, and I think that was the latest figure.
$138 आप कहते हो?
Purchasing power parity, yes.
In
terms of purchasing power parity.
In Pakistan?
I believe, yes.
Per capita expenditure?
Expenditure in public healthcare sector per capita, yes.
Public healthcare. Are you sure? Yeah, I just a guess.
I have read this stat somewhere because it was comparing with India, where there is almost $600 in purchasing power parity, and for Turkey it was $1,000. So I believe this is a good figure.
Something near to
this.
So you are competing for the federal services.
Yes.
For government of Pakistan.
Yes, obviously for government of Pakistan, I want to join Pakistan Administrative Service. My first priority is.
Okay, tell us about Pakistan. What Pakistan is?
Well, Pakistan has been a contested concept within political parties and
Pakistan.
In terms of its ideology.
And in this planet.
Yes,
Pakistan basically exists करता है.
Yes,
it
exactly.
Is a sovereign state.
It's a sovereign state, exactly. So I basically started off wrong. I think Pakistan, for example, is the 6th largest country of the world in terms of population. And what I wanted to say was that in terms
6th
of its,
or 5th?
I believe it may be 5th. It may be 5th. Yes, I may be wrong. In terms of its ideology, there has been multiple contestations from different intellectual circles, and Pakistan has multiple administrative units. It has 4 provinces. It has there is a border dispute with our neighbor India over administrative region of Kashmir, and I think that's about.
Okay, you tell us, what is the length of different borders of Pakistan? Say India, Pakistan. What is the length? India, so China,
I'm
India,
not
Iran,
exactly
India,
sure,
Pakistan.
But I have estimated figures. May I quote estimated figures of the borders? I believe
Yes,
the border with
some idea.
I believe border with India is for around 2,600 kilometers, and the coastal border is around 1,050 kilometers. The border, our border with Afghanistan is around 1,600 kilometers, I believe, and with Iran it's around 1,000 kilometers. These are the countries that we border with, and with China we have Gilgit-Baltistan region, which is also around, I believe, I'm not sure about that border, how the length of that border with
around
China.
600.
Around 600, yes.
Welcome to CSPs Academy for CSS PMS preparation. CSS PMS तहरीरी इम्तिहान के तमाम मज़ामीन की ऑनलाइन और ऑन कैंपस तैयारी के साथ साथ सब्जेक्ट सिलेक्शन, असाइनमेंट चेकिंग, क्लास टेस्ट, मॉक एग्जाम, इंडिविजुअल टीचर डिस्कशन और फीडबैक सेशन का इनकाद किया जाएगा। इसके अलावा FPSC की तजवीज़ करदा बुक्स से बने मयारी नोट्स और CSPs पब्लिशर की बेहतरीन बुक्स मुहैया की जाएंगी। रजिस्टर नाउ एट 0316 5701593।
What is this Belt and Road Initiative of China and where we figure in?
Belt and Road Initiative is basically a project by China through which it seeks to have investments in different areas in infrastructure and transportation infrastructure investments to build its eastern region. Belt and Road Initiative includes CPEC, which is sometimes called Crown of CPEC. It's part of it's Crown of Belt and Road Initiative. CPEC is called. So this is a China-Pakistan economic corridor which specifically focuses on land routes from Pakistan to the eastern regions of China. And under this project, there are multiple sub-projects which include railways and highways and other energy installations through which China would be able to have exports through Pakistan to North Africa and Middle East and Europe, and it would avoid the long route from the southern side.
There was a study, Harvard ने study की थी after this project of 3, 4, 5 years.
Right.
They said that economic center of gravity of Earth is moving because of this Belt and Road project.
Yes.
क्यों कहा? What does it mean?
I think these words are a good representative of what actually Belt and Road Initiative stands for. Through Belt and Road Initiative, China seeks to expand its economic influence, and China believes that through economic influence, it can also expand its political influence. So the reason they say that these words say that the economic gravity is shifting towards the east is because through these projects, the trade will be enhanced and intra-regional trade will be increased. And along with trade, there will be people-to-people contact. So economic activity is being generated is being shifted from Europe to the eastern side. That's why they believe. That's why.
How many countries have signed this Belt and Road project?
I'm not exactly sure about the number, but multiple countries, including Central Asian republics and Indonesia.
Number estimated.
I believe 17-20 would be my guess for the number of countries that are involved in Belt and Road Initiative project.
Tell us, what is emotional intelligence? How it helps young people like you to achieve
Emotional
success?
Intelligence is a relatively recent concept in psychology, which states that the people who are able to process their emotions, have constraints on their passions, are better able to perform in a real social world. So there was an author named Daniel Goleman, which had a book published, which was Emotional Intelligence and Why Does It Matter More Than Intelligence Quotient. So what they say is that through emotional intelligence, we are better able to perform in social world where we all are creatures of emotions, and those people who have higher emotional intelligence are better able to process people's responses and respond appropriately.
Thank you, sir.
How do you see the role of a bureaucracy in the governance of the state?
So bureaucracy plays a major role in governance of the state. I believe Pakistan's bureaucracy has had its ups and downs through our 75 years history, and it is a vital part of the executive part of our state, and this is basically the machinery on which the whole of the state runs. So I believe in 1960s and 70s, bureaucracy was on the vanguard in development projects in Pakistan, but afterwards there were multiple contestations, after which especially within Bhutto era, there were like constraints on bureaucrats why they are taking the lead in development projects, and we see that today there are many challenges being faced by bureaucrats. For example, a study by Pakistan Institute of Development Economics said that 90% of the respondents said that there was political interference, and the loyalty to political establishment was considered a major aspect in a bureaucrat. So we see that although there is major responsibility on bureaucrats, but there is also some constraints which they are being faced, such as political interference. I think that's about it.
What reforms have so far been taken place in the police working, especially after the introduction of Police Order 2002?
I believe after Police Order 2002, the magistrates and executive part was separated, and police were focused on more executive functions of the state, and there were devolution of powers from provincial level to district level. I think I only know about these. I'm not exactly sure about other.
Haven't you
reforms.
heard of police safety commissions, National Public Safety Commission,
I have heard about
Provincial
these.
Public Safety Commission?
Yes, I heard.
What role has it been assigned to them in police order?
I'm not exactly sure, but I may be able to guess from them.
Do you think there is need of new national action plan in view of the resurgence of terrorism in Pakistan?
As we saw that after 2014 terrorist attack, we had a national action plan to counter terrorism, and I believe that was a comprehensive plan. That was a 20-point comprehensive plan. And I think we already have a framework, but I think where we lag is that our policy consensus was deteriorated and our focus was shifted. I believe through again having a strong policy consensus, we can use the similar national action plan to fight those terrorists.
Join CSPs, where we believe that your dreams are our mission. So let us be your partners in this transformative journey as we equip you with knowledge, confidence, and resilience required to emerge as CSS toppers. Contact us on our given WhatsApp number 0316-570-1593 or visit our website www.csps.com.pk.
What reforms are being contemplated in the working of the Security Council?
So there are multiple reforms being consulted in reform of the UN Security Council. Basically, the main point of contention is the power of veto, which the 5 superpowers at the time of 1945 had. So many countries are trying to get a permanent seat at UN Security Council, and even some countries are trying to have those veto powers have had to them. And also African states are struggling to get permanent seats at UN Security Council. These are the reforms that are being discussed.
What is the role which Pakistan is playing?
Pakistan has aligned with Italy and Mexico, I believe, to counter the bids by Japan and India to have permanent seats. And Pakistan believes that Africa can have its seats at UN Security Council because of historical deprivation. But having more veto power would only make decisions more prone to stalemate. So Pakistan is against having more permanent members in Security Council.
You play
with veto
football.
powers.
You play
Yes, I
football. At what position? Where you play?
Mostly in central defense or right back.
How will you differentiate between decentralization and delegation of powers and decentralization?
I believe both these words almost allude to similar concept, but there is a slight distinction made by social scientists. I believe decentralization focuses more on where authority is given to lower departments, while in delegation it's only temporarily delegated to lower departments. In decentralization, the lower departments it's basically territorial based, and they get more administrative power and decision making powers. In delegation, only certain tasks are being delegated to lower departments.
Good. Thank you.
Mia Saood bin Munam. Your favorite personality include Bertrand Russell.
Yes.
Could you tell me something about Bertrand Russell?
Sure.
And which of his works did you like the most?
So Bertrand Russell is basically a British philosopher, and he was a pacifist in World War eras. And I'm more inclined to his personality, and in his I have read his multiple books, including an outline of history of Western philosophy. I like that work, and apart from that, I have read his biography. And in his autobiography, he starts that 3 passions have governed him all his life: a longing for love, a search for knowledge, and an unbearable pity for human suffering. And I believe these 3 passions have also been governing me. So that's why I like Bertrand Russell.
You have also read the book Decline and Fall of Roman Empire. Are there any lessons to learn from that in the situation that we are in right now in Pakistan?
Yes, I think the first most lesson that in the concluding chapter of Decline and Fall of Roman Empire, Edward Gibbon says that the first cause that led to the eventual downfall of Roman Empire was that the Caesar converted Roman Republic into Roman Empire. Basically, what it did was it pushed the opinions of Senate on the margins, and concentrated power in single hand. I think that's the first major lesson, that in any political organization, centralization of power would eventually lead to decay. So that's the lesson that we can apply in Pakistan, that we have to devolve the powers and we have to go towards decentralization.
You play football also. What is your view on the criticism that was done against Qatar while it was hosting the FIFA World Cup?
I believe some part of the criticism was well informed. For example, there were certain organizations were raising issues of workers' rights and their working conditions. I believe those should have been focused by Qatar, but in the garb of these minority workers' rights, there were also an agenda being pushed against Qatar, and I believe that was a wrong part of the criticism. Many NGOs were involved, which openly tried to advocate about LGBTQ rights. And since it was being held in Qatar, the international community should respect the local customs of Qatar, and they should have accepted their banning of different symbols of LGBTQ movements. And I think that's about my opinion.
You also play video games. Which ones do you play?
There has been around from past year I haven't played, but I usually play campaign games including Assassin's Creed, God of War, and Uncharted. And I have also played Grand Theft Auto.
So Assassin's 3 is basically a story on Janissaries, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it was stories on Janissaries. There were assassins and special armed group of Persian Empire, I believe, Ottoman Empire.
Give your career a boost with CSS PMS preparation from Civil Services Preparatory School. Join CSS PMS for on-campus and online classes. Join us for your bright future. Civil Services Preparatory School, Jeetan Markaz, Islamabad. Register now at 0316 570 1593.
Ottoman Empire. So, what do you think was the role of Janissaries in the fall of the Ottoman Empire?
I'm not well read about on this, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
And Saood, Cicero is one of your favorite personality.
Yes.
Can you tell something about Cicero?
Sure. So Cicero was a Roman statesman and an academic philosopher. His work can be divided into two parts. One was political and one was philosophical. In philosophical part, he propounded a new theory called eclectic, where he took philosophical maxims from different schools and combined them into one consistent framework.
How he died?
I'm not sure about that.
Can you tell me this time span of Cicero and his philosophy of mixed states?
Right. So his time span is between 80 BC to 20 BC, I believe. His lifetime span, you mean?
Yes.
I'm not exactly sure, but
What is idea of mixed states?
Idea of mixed states in states that in a state there should be multiple concepts. For example, democracy. He basically said that democracy should be moderated because people are prone to passions, and they can have. In an absolute democracy, it would convert into a tyranny of majority. So he said that we should have institutes and separation of powers where there are mixed elements, so that it can be more stable.
Bertrand Russell was empiricist or rationalist?
In philosophical terms, he is called analytical philosophers, but he was empiricist. Yes.
He was empiricist. Okay. You recently read A Decline and Fall of Roman Empire by Edward Gibbon. Did you know how many volumes of this book are there?
There are 6 volumes,
And which volume you read?
I have read an abridged version. There are almost I have read an abridged version. There are almost, I believe, 3 million words in 6 volumes, and the abridged version that I read was of 1 million words.
Okay, tell who became responsible for the decline of Great Roman Empire in which year? Which year is marked as the decline of the Roman
Edward
Empire?
Gibbon marked 1453 as the fall.
1450?
As the fall of Roman Empire, because he considered Byzantine Empire as successor of Roman Empire. When he considered fall of Constantinople as fall of Roman Empire.
Okay. And you read international relations. Can you name the book written by Hans Magenthau?
Politics among nations.
Can you name the author of the books? The name of the book is The Wealth of Nations.
The Wealth of Nations author is Adam Smith.
Okay. Who are neocons And what is the idea of preemptive strike?
Okay, so neocons are a group of conservatives within Republican Party which advocate for having core national interest at the center of foreign policy making. And if we see it in preemptive defense, we saw that in 2003, USA launched an invasion in Iraq, and its rationale was that it is acting in preemptive self-defense because it believed that they were weapons of mass destruction which would fall into the hands of terrorists and they could attack USA.
Okay, it is stated that Hitler fought a war of destruction towards France and Britain, but he fought a war of extermination toward Russia. What is this? Elaborate this.
Basically, Hitler's philosophy was he had conceived a biological philosophy that there was hierarchy of races. So he's considered Germanic people as at the top of the hierarchy, and he considered Romance people as in the second tier. He said that, for example, the French and Italians were okay in terms of culture, and they were cultured people, but they were not like a martial race of Germanic tribes. And as far as Russia was concerned, they were Slavic people, and so he did not consider them within these races, and he thought that they could be easily exterminated because they are not at the
Why
forefront
he
of humanity.
concluded non-aggression pact with Russia?
I believe that was based on the real politics. The pact was concluded with Russia, I believe, in 1938. At that time, he said that he thought that having that pact, he would have safe Eastern Front would be safe. So that's why he concluded that pact. But as his philosophy evolved, there was also a term called Lebensraum, where he wanted more space for Germanic people. So that's why he eventually went to war with Russia.
My last question: what is white paper?
What is white paper? I have heard this term in many conferences. White paper is what it usually refers to. It is a paper where an initial draft is being made, on which further detailed document would be.
In Pakistan history, what is white paper?
I'm sorry, I'm unable to.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's conclude it. ठीक है? बताओ सऊद,
जी.
what is your assessment? तुमने क्या assess करते हो अपने आप को?
I believe start में थोड़ा nervous था और उस वजह से कुछ miss हुआ, लेकिन end तक थोड़ा ठीक हो गया था.
देखो ना, basically, why I asked Pakistan? Because this is the company which you intend to join.
Yes.
So you must be very clear. यहाँ जो कुछ उनको लुट के दोगे, हर चीज पे तुमसे उनसे डिस्कशन करने का उनका हक है.
जी, exactly.
Because you want to join government of Pakistan, बताओ पाकिस्तान के बारे में.
Exactly.
ये जो सवाल इतनी डिस्कशन हुई है ना, गो बैक, रिकलेक्ट और इनके आंसर देखो. ये नहीं है कि आपने सारे आंसर ठीक दिए. You need to look into it. ठीक है? एक तो अपना इंट्रोडक्शन रिकास्ट करो, मेक इट 1 पेजर, 10 पेज अपने बारे में लिखो, फिर उसमें से एक्सट्रैक्ट करो 1 पेज. दैट विल बी दी योर सेलिंग मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटेजी होनी चाहिए. तुमने अपने आप को मार्केट करना है ना, तो 1 पेज हो जो कि अपना उस 1 मिनट में डिलीवर कर दो सबके सामने. ठीक है? ये नीड टू वर्क आउट. यू हैव गॉट वेरी फाइन पर्सनैलिटी, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल तुम्हारे ठीक है, यू आर इंटेलिजेंट, कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल भी ठीक है, नॉलेज से आता है कॉन्फिडेंस. ठीक है? अब व्हाट यू नीड टू डू कि एक तो न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो पिछले 90 दिन के, 3 महीने के, अंग्रेजी का कोई अखबार उठा लो एक. ठीक है ना? उसमें जो आर्टिकल नेशनल, इंटरनेशनल, लोकल, डोमेस्टिक, सोशल इश्यूज, उनको रिव्यू करो. अपनी नोटबुक बनाओ, इंटरव्यू नोटबुक बनाई हुई है या नहीं?
अभी तक तो नहीं. सॉफ्ट नोट्स हैं, लेकिन वो कोई प्रॉपर नोट.
समथिंग लाइक दैट. 1 पेज के ऊपर एक हेडिंग लिखो, उसके नीचे 5 पॉइंट लिखो. रिटर्न में तुम्हारे पास टाइम होता है लिखने को, सोच भी रहे हो, लिख भी रहे हो. इंटरव्यू में
ऑर्गेनाइज करने का कम टाइम,
क्रिस्प रिप्लाई होता है. तो अगर तुम तैयारी करोगे इस पैटर्न पे, तो देन मैं कहता हूँ एनर्जी क्राइसिस के बारे में बताओ, इकोनॉमी ऑफ पाकिस्तान के बताओ, पाकिस्तान के सोशल प्रॉब्लम बताओ, फॉरेन पॉलिसी को हाईलाइट करो. व्हाट आर द मेन फीचर्स ऑफ फॉरेन पॉलिसी या मेन फीचर्स ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान. तो तुम्हें क्रिस्प आंसर होने चाहिए तुम्हारे पास. तो वो आते हैं तैयारी से, प्रैक्टिस से और तैयारी से. तो ये है कि तुम्हारा ठीक है, यू आर बेटर. ठीक है ना? तो वहाँ बट यू नीड टू इम्प्रूव. तुम्हारा कंपटीशन पंजाब में इज वेरी हार्ड, तो यू नीड टू वर्क हार्ड. ठीक है? आप बताएं सर.
यू नीड टू वर्क हार्ड. नॉलेज आपका गैप है, इसमें करंट अफेयर्स पर तवज्जो दें. ताइवान वाला मैंने आपसे सवाल किया था, तो उसको जाकर देखें क्या है, क्यों जो है टेंशन बढ़ रही है इसमें, बिकॉज ऑफ सर्टेन थिंग, सर्टेन डेवलपमेंट दैट इज देयर। आपने एक सवाल का जवाब ठीक दिया, वो रोल ऑफ ब्यूरोक्रेसी, वो अच्छा जवाब आपने दिए, लेकिन पुलिस में आप नहीं, कोई आपका जवाब सेटिस्फैक्टरी नहीं था। पुलिस रिफॉर्म्स का भी नहीं आपको कोई आइडिया क्या है, हालांकि होना चाहिए जो आप पुलिस लिखते हैं। तो इसके बारे में, कस्टम्स के बारे में पूछा नहीं है, लेकिन इसके बारे में आपको जो कंप्लीट नॉलेज होना चाहिए। ठीक है, तो आप जब बोलते हैं जो है ना, आप बहुत करते हैं, ये एंड इसको अवॉइड करें। ठीक है, इसको शीशे के सामने खड़े हों और फिर देखें, इसको ओवरकम करें अपनी इस प्रॉब्लम को। बाकी आप यू आर ड्रेस्ड, प्रॉपर्ली ड्रेस्ड, ठीक है, बिल्कुल कोशिश करें आप अच्छा परफॉर्म, अच्छे ग्रेड ले सकते हैं।
थैंक यू।
Saood bin Munam, you're a very smart boy. You are more intelligent than many of the candidates that we have interviewed. You have a very good potential. My take was that perhaps you get excited and nervous, so you start talking even before the panelist has completed the question. Patiently listen to what is being asked. Organize your thoughts and then start talking. You also, when you start talking, it sounds more like rambling. Not that you're rambling, but it sounds rambling because halfway you forget what you were saying. Which direction were you taking the panelists to? But if you had thought before starting, then you would have had a more focused response.
Yes.
Knowledge gap मुझे इतना नहीं लगा. मुझे लगा कि nervousness में, एक्साइटमेंट में पसीना भी आ रहा है, एनकों पे धुंध भी छा रही है, तो
यहाँ पे आके अंदर आके वो पहली धुंध आ गई।
सो वो उसकी वजह से, बट you're a winning horse. Just focus, don't get excited, don't get nervous. Think before you leap. You leap before thinking. That's not a good idea. But you will do very well.
Thank you.
Okay.
सो जब मैंने ये पढ़ा ना, आपका फ्रॉम बर्टन रसल, सिसरो, क्राइम एंड पनिशमेंट और डिक्लाइन एंड फॉल, भाई आप इतनी ज़्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटी दे रहे हो अपने इंटरव्यूज़ को, तो आपको बहुत जो है बहुत मुश्किल चीज़ें पूछ सकते हैं। आप अपना खुद ही लेवल इतना ऊपर बढ़ा दिया, एंड आई एम ग्लैड आपने बहुत अच्छे आंसर्स दिए।
बिकॉज आई वाज कॉन्फिडेंट कि मैंने खुद रीड भी की हुई है और मैं काफ़ी शौक भी है।
पढ़ लें, मतलब अब ये ऐसा आपने उनको एक ओपन फील्ड दे दिया कि अब, लेकिन देखिए सिस्टरों से रिलेटेड आप बहुत सारी चीज़ें ठीक नहीं बयान कर सके।
जी, वो मिक्स्ड गवर्नमेंट वाला मैंने बेसिकली इसकी पॉलिटिकल
गवर्नमेंट बुक का मार्क एंटनी ने उसको जो है, देखें फॉर एग्जांपल अगर कोई हिस्टोरियन आगे बैठा हुआ तो आपको इस पे बहुत, इसका जो लेटर पार्ट है फॉल ऑफ रोमन एम्पायर का जो है, ये बड़ी एक जो है बुक, एक क्लासिकल बुक है, 200 को आप लिखा हुआ है। तो आई वुड सजेस्ट कि जो आपने पर्सनैलिटीज लिखी हुई इसमें से कम कर दें। ठीक है, और ये बुक्स बहुत बड़ी बुक्स हैं। नॉलेज गैप मुझे नहीं लगा आपका इतना ज़्यादा। बाकी जो चीज़ें आपको लगता है ग्रे एरिया आपका, उसको इम्प्रूव कर दें। थैंक यू।
देखो तुम्हारा जो है ना फाइनल जो इंटरव्यू होगा वहाँ 80% होगा जो तुम उनको लिख के दोगे इसमें, उनके फॉर्मेट पे। दे विल वेरीफाई इट, एवरीथिंग दे विल वेरीफाई कि आप कौन हैं, आप क्या करते हैं। 20% आपका करंट इश्यूज आ जाएंगे, वो न्यूज़पेपर से मिलेंगे, लेकिन डोंट वेस्ट मच टाइम। ठीक है ना, अब आप बनाओ ये पॉइंट वाइज अपनी प्रिपरेशन करो, तो देन यू विल बेनिफिट। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू। अल्लाह हाफिज़।